Honestly, man, I'm done with this season. I'm done with this season. I just can't wait for the summers to come. I can't wait for new owners to take over the club. I can't wait for the club to start reinvesting in the squad and start focusing on the summer window, because some of the heartbreak we're facing end of this season, nah, man. Like another final as well too, another domestic cup final lost, another final loss to Liverpool, another penalty shootout, and another penalty shootout that we've lost. I feel very sorry for Mason Mount. He had a very good game today, really influenced a lot of all the good things we did when it came to attacking and counter-attacking against Liverpool today. You know, he would have known about his records. I think, 5 times he's lost now at Wembley. That's the 6th time now, and he plays a part in that. This level is very cruel. It's very high, and these details get magnified even more, and this is where these moments get made. But for Mason, he's had an incredible season. He still has a long way more to go. He's shown even more promise now, and every season he's getting better and better and better. And it seems like this will just be another thing to push him on and spur him on now to, become as complete as he can be now. Part of me feels like, did we take a risk trying to gamble on another penalty shootout? I looked at that Liverpool team, extra time, they look very tired. A team that lost Salah, a team that lost Van Dijk, they're probably sweaty now as they're preparing for their Champions League final. Could we have done maybe a bit more with the subs we had and the abundance of them we could have made to help turn the game in our favour? Because it felt like in the second half of extra time, not the second half, but throughout extra time, basically, we didn't create as many opportunities, and the tempo and pace of the game really went down. I'm going to look at that substitution made by Tuchel, of course, when it came to replacing Loftus-Cheek for Barkley, even though he literally just brought him on in the second half of extra time. That was like a waste with 2 subs. I mean, why not just start Barkley immediately then? And he's ready for the shootout even more. I didn't understand why we had to waste that sub. We didn't even see Timo Werner touching the pitch, and you look at little micro details. You're looking at Lukaku, maybe he came off a bit too early, because for me it even felt like we didn't have that focal point up front. And even though Lukaku was in the right areas, I felt like literally by sheer volume at least, he would have been guaranteed at least one opportunity to come his way, or even being ready for penalty shootouts, because he's one of the best penalty takers in the world. But these are all details you can talk about and look back on, especially in hindsight as well too. Regardless though, it was another remarkable performance from a team that is still young, still has inexperience in certain areas, still has a long way to go. And, for me, we should definitely take a lot of pride in the fact that, I've got to put some respect in Liverpool. I mean, they really are an incredible football team. I don't feel ashamed to say that. You guys know on this channel, I've looked to them as like a club that we could gain some aspiration from, especially in terms of how they've conducted themselves in the market. The results are on the field when you see how they play, how they perform in all areas at the club. And for me, this is where it's exciting now that we have maybe new ownership that can bring new ideas to the club and maybe give us some new life in certain areas to really get us back now to competing with your Liverpools and Man Cities, because the reality is that we're still a lot farther away from the second and first place positions compared to, top 4, 5, 6, etc. So there's still a ton of room for improvement. And when you see games like this, when you see us perform like this against Liverpool, the 5th time in a row it's been this tense, this tight. We play some of the games of the season against them, and we're going toe for toe. We're not parking the bus defending. We're not playing within ourselves. You're seeing the best of what we can do under Thomas Tuchel. And for me, if there's one positive I can take from this cup final defeat, it's the fact that the future is very, very bright and very, very positive, knowing that look how close we are right now, and look how much further we can come once we bring in certain additions and give Tuchel the squad he wants, just like how your Guardiolas and just like how your Klopps have profited and taken advantage of that. So you guys, in today's match, I'm going to break down the big moments in the game, big moments from players, and just big everything, essentially. I hope you guys enjoy. Hit the like button. I appreciate you guys watching this. I'm sure we're all hurting right now, because these games, they really just take a lot out of you when you're just literally with your team, just focusing on things, and it feels like you're there at times as well, man. But to start with things a bit differently, I do want to start by talking about the penalty shootout first, and then I'm going to work my way afterwards, because that's one of the most recent things that happened after the game. Wow, it's weird because we have so many sick penalty takers in the squads, but I guess they don't always get to have these spots at the same time. Of course, hindsight, I'm always in a dream about Lukaku. If he took one of those penalties, he's guaranteed to score that. Aspie was unlucky. I felt when I watched the replay, he didn't even watch the net. He was focused only on the ball. And I understand maybe you know where the ball's going to go, of course, but I kind of worked out against him in the end. Saw some great penalties. You know, Ziyech, I thought took us very well. Ross Barkley scored a banger as well too. And I think Barkley would have come on that field knowing that, you know, every man in the country right now is thinking to themselves, did Tuchel get this sub right or wrong? Is Barkley going to score this? And the way he took it, the way he reacted afterwards, he wasn't too pleased in general, but he came in to do what he had to do, and then he had to bounce afterwards. But and of course Jorginho took us very well as well too, not using his trademark technique this time. Could Mendy have done better in certain situations? I think so. I think there was one in particular, who was a save against, where in that moment I think he just bent down too much with his knees. So when it came to having to like explode upwards to try and get that, he was just a bit too low, and it was too late to fully react and like keep his hand strong to palm that ball away. He was in the right areas at the right time, but just didn't have the execution to really stop things. Even the final penalty from Tsimikas, I was thinking in my head, he's clearly going to go for the bottom left corner. I mean, he's a left back who's just come into the game, who has a left foot. You know, they tend to just hit it in them sides. Maybe sometimes some of Mendy's decision making in pen moments, you know, maybe he panics a bit too much. But listen, he still made himself a presence. He was trying to make himself get in the heads of Liverpool players. He definitely put up Sadio Mane, and that really gave us some new life in the game. But unfortunately, Mason Mount in the end just couldn't take advantage of that moment, and you know, use it as an opportunity to, you know, take responsibility to right some of the wrongs now that he's facing playing games at Wembley Stadium. But now that the pen shootout's out the way, let's talk about some of the other things that happened in the game. I think one of the interesting points is the lineup. We saw Lukaku starting, we saw him up front alongside Pulisic, Mason Mount. We saw Trevor Chalobah playing in the team as well. And for me, I thought that some of these decisions were the right ones to make. Trev, for example, he's a player that he starts games a bit slow at times. His execution of everything isn't perfect, but I've seen a lot of guys like your Luizes, your Rudigers, who have grown over the years with more game time. From what I've seen of Trev this season, he's definitely shown that he's of a level to play, and it's exciting to know that he can only just improve and fine-tune certain aspects of his game. But you know, his pace, the physicality, and of course the ball progression, he plays some very good passes to Reece James, was needed, even though at times he was caught out of position here or lost like a certain deal here or there. But you know, for someone who's a squad player, who's still young, he can keep his head up, man. Normally with Tuchel, we tend to get an idea of the team he's about to use in a final or big game because he'll test them out in the game before. It was surprising to see Cover coming back so quickly, but you know, respect him, play through the pain barrier. I'm sure he has some injections to play through the game as well too. And you know, we had a team that was ready and looked confident. So the first 10 minutes and how this game started was very disappointing. And for me, I'm not going to blame Thomas Tuchel in this one. I mean, there's players know the system, they played it a lot of times. I felt like there was definitely like a miscommunication and imbalance between our defence and midfield, because there was so much space opened between the lines, which we never ever do at all. And Liverpool, with the quality, especially from like vertical passing, they're going to split teams open like nothing. And they had one of the most impressive passages of play probably in England this season, when Alisson, of course, outside the boot pass to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who finds Diaz. And you know, it's funny that Diaz, he messed his efforts up quite a lot. This game for me really was kind of like the Diaz and Pulisic show, because both these players had so many opportunities to seal the game for their team, and they both couldn't take advantage in the moment to cap off what was very, you know, dangerous and promising performances from both. But, you know, after that 10 minutes was over, once the players' nerves calmed down, once I think Silva started pushing the backline up a lot higher, I felt like maybe we were too scared of the pace possessed by Liverpool players. The backline was marshaled too deep. Thank God things changed, because once they did, we were able to get our wing backs forward, stretch the pitch, and then we looked very dangerous. And like, when we play against Liverpool, the amount of really top quality opportunities we create against them, not many teams are able to play at this type of level against Liverpool. I mean, I've seen them play in so many Champions League games and games throughout the season. Not many teams are able to do this. So, you know, that is a small positive to take from this game. But, you know, once we were able to influence, once we had our midfield on the ball, wing backs further forwards, we created some very good chances. You know, Alonso Pulisic. I felt like they had a very good chemistry in terms of how they both took turns. It seemed like in, creating the overloads to go in the far post, be on the outside for opportunities. Alonso at that left foot. Normally in moments like this, he becomes our savior and he takes advantage of real moments. But it just felt like a lot of times when he was 1v1, it was either like the first touch wasn't perfect or like he didn't fully connect with this shot as well, get the right amount of power on, which was a shame. And today Alonso did very well, and he has had a very commendable season to keep things real. But Pulisic, wow, the amount of opportunities he had. Now I'm going to be very objective. I'm going to give him credit and praise for the fact that to even get in those areas, it does display a lot of his like high IQ, positional sense, and the ability to tag spaces and time his runs, and his overall game today was good. Maybe if he had more consistency in game time, it's a surprise that now that Pulisic's getting more consistent minutes, he's getting better and better and better. He tends to be a player like that. Who knows what he would have done in this game and what he would have done in the moments he had, because wow, some crazy efforts. A cut back from Mason Mount after like a great counter attack. Pulisic missed. Of course, can't forget the running behind Trent Alexander-Arnold to get on the left post. For me, he should have taken a shot first time. He wasn't able to do that. And then literally second half as well too, he had a shot from like a Lukaku layoff straight at Alisson. You're hoping that he's going to open his body up more and like bend it around the corner. Then he had another low driven effort as well. So he was very involved in everything we did today, and it's a shame that he wasn't able to take advantage, because these are match-winning moments up there. But I think after this game, I just feel this sense of just like realism now. I fully understand where we are as a team, as a club. I've accepted the plateau and the level. It's why I am hurt, but I'm not as disappointed, because it felt like maybe this is expected. Maybe a lot of us felt like when it got to penalties that we weren't going to win this game, and that's not a good feeling to have. And it's a shame that we just allow our fate to be decided by chance in the end. I don't know. I'm going to watch this game again just to see what happens. This is a tough game, very tough game. Liverpool, we hit the post of Marcos Alonso, can't forget the effort from him. You can't forget as well too, Liverpool hit the post a few times. It really is like whatever one team does, the other team responds instantly back. And wow, Klopp versus Tuchel, it's been some incredible battles and incredible games. And let's hope from next season we're able to really fine tune and take advantage, because I feel like if we were able to really like pattern things like the attack this season, little details like that, and maybe like how we manage the squad as well at times too, results like this become quite different, and who knows what happens. And I feel like you have like you boost your percentages of winning in situations like this. So let's see what happens during pre-season and for next season as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's just another cup final defeat. We played well. I thought it was a good game. It was, but luck wasn't in our favor. I don't know. A part of me will feel like, could we have done more to win it in extra time? To waste 2 subs essentially just to prepare for penalties. A Liverpool team was exhausted and tired. They weren't even really pressing or counter-attacking. Like, you're giving them a bit of hope, I guess. I don't know, you guys. I think right now I'm just going to wrap things up, keep things moving. This is basically our season nearly over. Of course, we got to secure Champions League football, and then that's that, you guys. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Please share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I'm the EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys there with some more videos. Cool.